You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
With over 27 million downloads each week, this, of course, is your home for all of your after-show recaps, analysis, and interviews. This is AfterBuzz TV, and this right here is WWE SmackDown AfterBuzz. I am Christian Rosenberg, your host for this evening, but as always, I am not alone. Joining me, we have Miss Takee. How are you?
Hi, good, fantastic.
And next to Kaori with the blazer and the dark shades and like the sweater that matches with the blazer really well.
Yeah, it looks like formal.
Yeah, well,
it's formal, but it's casual.
Yeah, it's both. It can work. It's Cali.
He can go to the club, or he can just go out to the movie.
Yep.
It's Ron Moore.
Business.
You do play it off really well.
Party.
Like, well-rounded guy right here.
Whoa!
What is he here?
Is the director of operations here?
No flames.
Wow.
Anything.
Well, the director of operations had a big part in tonight. He saved himself for the very end of it, but when all said and done, Kane kind of turned into the star of the show. He might have only been on for 5 minutes, but he was the star of tonight, in my opinion.
He was the highlight, yes.
He was definitely the highlight. And we're going to get into this week's SmackDown, which hailed right near where I grew up, an hour away in good old Worcester, Massachusetts. What up, Worcester?
Say it again.
Worcester. It's spelled Worcester, but it's pronounced Worcester.
No, it's not.
Yes.
How about the sauce?
They pronounce it Worcester.
Yeah.
Even the sauce?
That's like Worcestershire. That's different.
Yeah.
It's different spelling.
Put some on your steak.
I like the sauce probably more than I would like your town.
Whoa!
I know, I'm so evil. I love it.
All of Massachusetts now hates you. You have an entire state hating you.
Most of
I'm sorry,
Massachusetts
guys.
hates everything.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
thank you.
Oh!
You know, I'm
This is my home ground, people. I only made fun of Alabama for their football.
Look, I got one of my best friends lives in Boston, and I don't make fun of them for their football. I make fun of them because of their women. Boom.
And I'm in California. All right. And real quick, I want to bring up our YouTube homework assignment for last week. The question was, what did Tom Phillips actually say to the Usos? Because it was so hard to hear it. I love how somebody actually gave us what he actually said. But I'm like, I appreciate that, but we were just going for something fun because you could barely hear it.
Creativity.
Yeah. And our friend of the show, friend of all of our AfterBuzz shows, Chris Minji, by far he gave us several options, but the one of, have you seen a hot Asian woman trying to find Cesaro?
Oh.
That
I
one.
don't know what to make of that.
That one I thought was the best one. Tom Phillips running up to the Usos, like, have you seen a hot Asian woman trying to find Cesaro?
Because we have.
Every Friday, guys.
Every Friday, she's right here.
I'm hoping
at
you guys will
AfterBuzz.
shock me with some Cesaro.
Shock you with some Cesaro?
In the studio.
Why would we do that?
It would be amazing.
Why would we punish him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she would be so happy to meet me, too.
Well, we'll get to Cesaro later. Because right now we got to talk about the fact that for some odd reason Miz was on commentary.
Yes, he was.
For the whole show, not just like a match. Why?
I don't know.
To be fair, I didn't really notice the
You didn't notice him.
hindrance, I guess you can say.
I don't know. And this is something.
It didn't hurt the show.
For some people that might have been tuning us, obviously tuning into us here on SmackDown, but wasn't listening to us when we were hosting Main Event months ago, when Miz would host that on a somewhat regular basis. I am all for guest commentators for matches to enhance storylines. I do not feel it is at all necessary for a current wrestler to be on commentary for an entire show. He should not be there talking about all the matches and all the stories. He should be involved in a story himself.
Yeah. But I think it's just because he does such a good job for not necessarily you, but like the kids and the ladies. They like him.
Do the kids, well, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Because he changes by the week. I don't know anymore.
But he's a guy.
Very good, Kaori. He is a guy.
And he does a really good job at being a face of the WWE world. He does.
Yeah. No, well, absolutely. I'm not discrediting what he does for the WWE at all. If you're a wrestler, then you wrestle. If you're a commentator, fine. And he's not a bad commentator. But I don't want a full-time wrestler being a full-time commentator.
He's stuck because he's I guess a victim of his own success. Because he can speak well, he can commentate, he can be a face of the he can be a face in front of the media for the company.
Yep.
He can go out. He's done I don't know how many talk shows, especially when he was the champion.
And Christmas Bounty is still available.
Yeah.
He can act. He can travel.
Questionable.
He can do most things.
He can do most things. He can't twerk. We don't want to see that again.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened once, remember?
One time. It was bad. But outside of all of that, he's also a wrestler. So how do you utilize a guy in all of those different places when his fit as a wrestler isn't as a face? He's a natural heel. So what do you do with
You
it?
turn him heel. Fully. They tease it and then they got rid of it.
But
then they tease it and they got rid of it.
Take away the other stuff. Then you got to take away all the media stuff, and we know how friendly with the media the WWE is doing.
What happened with Cena?
But when he was the top heel, when he was the WWE champion, he was a heel. He was still doing all those appearances. Even when he dropped the title, he was still a top heel. He was still doing all those appearances. Now, he might not get you might not have him do as many of the, like the kid charity events. But you know what? You still got Daniel Bryan to do them. You still got Kofi Kingston to do them. You still got plenty of guys that the kids will love to go see. That are also well spoken.
So the point being, Christian just doesn't like him as commentator.
No, I do like him as commentator, but if he was a commentator, I don't want him to be a wrestler.
So the moral of the story is don't be a mediocre heel.
The end.
All right.
There we go. Good way to end that. And then, kick off. I feel like every week now, SmackDown kicks off with a tag team match, which I don't have a problem with. I'm just noticing a pattern. I feel like
What was last week's?
Last week was Usos and Wyatt's.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they might have been the previous week, too. Again, I got no problem with it. I just find it kind of oddly that SmackDown, last several weeks, boom, tag team match, start of every week. It's not a bad thing.
By the way, in the chat they say, my mother watching Christmas Bounty, she fell asleep like 15 minutes in.
Well, that's not very nice.
That's like a record, though.
I mean, you don't even know who the villain is in 15 minutes of a movie. Hulk Hogan has verbally said on Twitter or he said somewhere that he's going to be involved in WrestleMania 30 in some capacity.
Hulk Hogan says a lot of
Hulk
stuff.
Hogan does say a lot.
He was a wrecking ball.
Yes, he was. when WWE starts promoting it, then I know it's a fact.
All right.
And I would expect him to be involved in WrestleMania 30 in some capacity. So
doing what?
That we'll find out. Whether it's something with a Hulk, I can see him inducting Warrior, who we'll talk about later on.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
And who knows if he'll do something at WrestleMania itself, whether he manages someone or something.
We're gonna have some fun talking about later the prospective people who can induct the Warrior.
Oh yeah, I mean now's the time from now through WrestleMania where every week is just like, oh my god, we got so much we can talk about right now.
Yeah, sound off in the chat. Tell us who you guys think should induct the Warrior. I want to know. I want to get some good guesses in there. I want to see what happens.
I'm trying to think, if you think of his biggest rivalries, unfortunately, other than Hogan, most of them are passed away.
Yeah, I was
Rude,
say Rick Rude's dead.
Macho Man.
Macho Man's gone.
I mean, those were, and Hogan, those were his three
Mr.
biggest.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can have Slaughter. I get technically.
Yeah.
You could have Honky Tonk Man, but I don't know if Honky Tonk Man wants to be there until he's inducted himself, which he should be.
He should be.
So who knows?
The problem with Honky Tonk is he's going to want a headline.
That won't happen.
I know.
All right. Tag team match: New Age Outlaws versus the Roseses. So, the New Age Outlaws have wrestled 2 6-man tag matches, have lost both of them. One of which they walked out and CM Punk, and now they get a non-title match against the tag team champions. And I feel like this is the main event of a Sunday Night Heat in 2002.
Yeah.
They got a lot of steam, and they came back at the end of the show.
Yeah. we had
Doing a lot of work.
We had Road Dogg, we had Billy Gunn, and we had Goldust in the ring. It was a good match, and I'm not trying to knock Road Dogg and Billy Gunn because they're older, but they both can still go. They both are still impressive. They can still perform to top WWE level without a doubt. The match is going on. Cody Rhodes hits a disaster kick. He's in control. All of a sudden, Vickie comes out of absolute nowhere and brings up, hey, the Royal Rumble's 9 days away. And you know that means partner against partner, friend against friend, brother against brother. You know, they're just trying to plant the seeds of the possible dissension that could happen in the Rumble match between Cody Rhodes and Goldust. And while Vickie's out there, Billy Gunn rolls up Cody, and the New Age Outlaws, the former 5-time tag team champions, pin Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
The Rhodesies.
The Rhodesies.
Yeah, the Rhodesies. The Rhodesies.
So,
Rhodes
are the New Age Outlaws going to get a title shot?
No.
They just beat the champs.
But I still say no.
Is
I
this
wouldn't
really happening?
It's a legitimate question now. Does this make them the number one contenders?
No.
But
Cody Rhodes and Goldust don't have opponents for the Rumble yet. If they defend their titles at the Rumble,
I would like that not to happen.
I agree. I agree with you. I want to know it. Like I said, I don't have a problem with New Age Outlaws wrestling, but I don't want them in title matches. They can help get guys over. I mean, help get the Usos over more, who are getting over more and more. You give them a little program with the Outlaws, that will shoot them up even more.
It's this. The WWE, people have been waiting so long for them to, just inject some fun, some action into the tag team division. And they're injecting us now with the New Age Outlaws. Now, granted, I like the New Age Outlaws. I've worked with one of them. They're really fun guys to work with. But when you got so much youth coming in, you got so much youth in the company, you would think that they would be using them to build the other teams. And that still may be happening.
It could.
That still may be the final, the finality of this entire situation. But
so what you're saying is 3MB is going to emerge as a tag champion soon.
No.
I don't know how he got that.
Well, the youth, the future, 3MB.
There's a lot.
The Usos, it's a lot more other teams there. But
Yeah, there are.
I miss 3MB. Okay, I miss them.
I think,
really need to see
I
them
think there
back.
are some seriousness in there for you. You really like the 3MB, do you?
I do like 3MB.
Yeah.
I do like 3MB.
Does Goldust ever get pinned, by the way? He takes all the
Yeah,
heat,
no,
but
he's been pinned.
He's been pinned?
Yeah.
I was wondering.
He tapped out to the Patriot Lock about a month or so
Not a
ago.
pin, though.
No, he tapped out. That's even worse.
I know.
And he's the only person I remember in the last year that tapped out to Swagger's ankle lock.
But as soon as they all got in the ring, we thought Sunday Night Heat 2001.
It was kind of like a throwback. And like even Road Dogg was saying to Goldust, it's like, hey, we go back a long ways.
And they do.
And they do.
Yeah. The son of Dusty and the son of Bully Bob Armstrong.
That's right. Renee Young is backstage with CM Punk asking, are the rumors true that you intend on calling out all 3 members of the Shield tonight? And Punk's like, yep. And walked away. And that was that.
Yeah.
That was pretty much all that was. Yep. We got a little one-line answer from Punk then.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're laughing at something in the chat roll. Bring it.
This is the greatest thing in the chat roll. AJ0314 says Dingo Warrior will induct the Warrior.
Dingo Warrior will induct the Ultimate Warrior.
He's been saying quite a lot of funny things.
You know who else can induct the Ultimate Warrior?
Who's that?
Sting.
Yeah, that was actually brought up earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually brought up.
They're looking at the chat roll. I am not.
Iron Sheik as well.
Yeah, Iron Sheik got a mention.
Great.
Done. If you have Iron Sheik and Ultimate Warrior together making speeches, them alone will be 4 hours long.
Yes.
Paul Heyman comes to the ring, and this is just pretty much putting over the fact that Brock Lesnar and Big Show are having a big one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble. He's putting over how dominant Lesnar will be, and he's the self-proclaimed number 1 contender. And Paul Heyman isn't afraid of the Big Show. Big Show comes out, and shocking, Paul Heyman runs for his life.
Scampers.
And Big Show says that he will knock Paul Heyman's client out at the Royal Rumble.
The best thing about this was Paul Heyman.
Well, is Paul Heyman even? He doesn't have to have either competitor in the match out there.
Yeah.
And he can still put over whatever the matches he's talking about because he's that good. This didn't really add anything to the story, but it's still good promo by Heyman to hype up their match because, by the way, everyone's talking about the Rumble and Cena versus Orton because those are pretty much the only matches we have announced for this pay-per-view that's in 9 days, other than the Lesnar Big Show match. So I was like, hey, by the way, we got this match happening too. My client, Brock Lesnar, is going to be there wrestling, so you should tune in and watch him beat the 450-pound Big Show.
I liked your Brock, not so much your Lesnar.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just like with Bad News Barrett. I can do the bad news part, but then I can't do the accent anywhere. Then I lose the accent when I talk the rest of the time.
Got some bad news.
I got some bad news. And then it just falls apart.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
Give yourself some credit. It's not that bad.
Yes, it is.
I tried.
And then we have this little thing that we get a few times during the show, which to me makes absolutely no sense.
Go ahead. I'm just going to let you have the mic on now.
All right. We have Eva Marie. She's saying, we'll be right back. It's like I feel like I'm watching like a game show from the 80s. Like, we'll be right back after this word from Dick's Sporting Goods.
It was almost like
just some random shop, random sponsor.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, like hey, we'll be. Hey, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes. We have Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, you can almost hear the little music with the animated characters.
So I hope you guys stick around to see that. And then she blows a kiss.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not knocking Eva Marie for this because we have it several times with multiple divas during the show. If this is their way of trying to get the divas more exposure on SmackDown, then I'm sorry, you need to think of something else. Because there are definitely better ways to do it than that.
I think it's a combo, too. I think it's what you just said. But I also think that there's a lot of people that like her, too. I don't know who, but, you know.
No, well, I'm saying this as a whole. I'm not saying solely Eva Marie. Because later on we have the Bellas and we have Oksana and we have all them do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's got to be a better way to get them involved on the show than have them do this that doesn't enhance any type of story for them at all.
Let's be honest. As of now, there is no better way for Eva Marie. What would be better? For her to be
in training.
It's training, yes.
She should be in training.
To be on the show.
She should be off TV and in training. Bellas and Oksana have a program going on. Oksana keeps beating them. They could have done something backstage with them instead of having them do, hey, we'll be right back.
But that's the point, is like they want to put Eva Marie in this limelight, and they maybe know that right now she's not prepared to be having a storyline with another diva. So they put her in this.
She's not ready for that.
And then to even the score, they put more ready divas.
Then, as much as I'm not be a fan of this, then with all the backstage segments with Renee Young, you have Eva Marie do one of them. Like, here's my guest at this time, blah, says one thing, they take the mic, and then someone else will interrupt, and Eva Marie just leaves, and they do their little backstage segment.
I almost feel like she has a better shot at wrestling than being a correspondent.
I agree with you, but she needs to train.
Yes.
And I'm sure she is training right now. I'm sure, because they have the best trainers in the world down there.
She's
been down there forever.
Training with TJ.
We'll probably train with Sarah Del Rey.
No, I'm just kidding, because it's Total Divas.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Threw in a little Total Divas thing there.
Total Divas. Total Divas.
So that dance she always does that on Total Divas?
Yep.
Wow.
Every time.
No, I twerk.
You twerk?
Yeah, you better watch that.
I missed it?
Stuff.
Here's the thing. She does it off camera, though.
No, that's not. Yeah.
Well, I get to see it if I'm here. Forget it. I'm sorry, world, but
twerk.
That's for us.
But you can hear us talk about the Total Diva show by going to iTunes. Look, see what I do there? I wasn't even planned there, but you set it up, and I just knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, we set it up for you. Actually.
That's right. You're Stockton, I'm Malone.
We just felt like he needed help.
You would score more runs if after you scored, you didn't.
I don't always acknowledge it.
Scored.
I do that every week, though. Like, Segway champ, baby.
We just kind of killed the segue, too. Right?
Yeah,
no, I did it on
this is a weekly thing. The segue set up perfectly. I call it out. You guys kill it. And then I say, oh, by the way, you can check out Total Divas, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Main Event, all the other shows. We do the pay-per-views as well by going on to iTunes. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Give us that 5-star rating. And, of course, you can see the schedule of all the shows at AfterBuzzTV.com. And leave us your comments on YouTube as well, because we respond, and we'll have your YouTube homework assignment of the day. But while people are responding, I want to give a quick mention of this.
Yes.
Rome and I, earlier today, we decided, hey, you know what? We want to get Ryback's attention because Ryback's been on a Twitter frenzy the last week and a half.
He has.
So most of our fans, most of my Rosebuds, most of your Roman Army, most of your corporation.
Aw. I like it.
We've got to try to make that stick.
Okay.
We're trying to get it there.
Trying to get a stick.
I'm okay with it.
Usually when we tweet stuff wrestling related, a lot of it will get retweeted or responded to or favorited, which we all love, and we couldn't thank you enough for spreading the word of whatever we say in AfterBuzz and all that stuff. We posted on there today, retweet to get Ryback to try to appear or call in because we want to talk with him about all his Twitter rants. We had one guy retweet us because I'm convinced that everyone is afraid of Ryback except us.
Well, props to that one guy.
Just one.
And his name escapes me at the moment. I apologize. And is Ryback, is Ryback here? Is he calling in right now? Is that why his music's playing?
Feed me more.
He calls his fans to feed me morons.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative to Doug Coates for
That's who it was, Doug Coates.
on this Doug K swag.
Yeah.
Now from Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, he's Alabama?
He is from Alabama.
Okay.
So the army is strong there, of course.
See, I'm certainly be terrified of being in the ring with Ryback, but I'm not afraid to talk to the guy.
And he will actually be at, not Ryback, but I'm sure Ryback will be there as well. Doug will also be at WrestleMania 30.
Hey.
And he's going to be doing some live tweeting for us.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Love that guy. Thank you, Doug. But yeah,
Ryback.
Share the word. Tell Ryback to call in and talk to us on AfterBuzz so we can address all of you that he tweets at in an interview format.
Everyone who loves the show, everyone who supports us week after week, if you love this show and you want to see us interview Ryback, buzz bomb him. I want everybody to tweet.
He's just invented something. Hashtag buzz bomb.
And while you're at it, Cesaro too would be cool.
Oh God. He hasn't done any crazy thing on Twitter. We want Ryback because he's gone nuts. Ryback's just gone insane.
We're gonna make an AfterBuzz hit list. We want Caitlyn, we want Coffee Kingston, and we want Ryback.
Why do you call them coffees?
Coffee, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Kaori, there's a difference. I'm just I'm representing for those strange names.
Are you two in a fight right now? Should I interrupt this?
It's a mini fight.
Okay.
We make up real quick.
Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio, as Eva Marie so graciously let us know ahead of time before the commercial break. Mysterio talks on the mic beforehand, just saying, Del Rio, you should be focused on me and not worried about this Monday when Batista makes his return.
Oh, yeah, he is coming.
Yeah, by the way, Batista's back on Monday.
He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
that's happening.
I say Kofi because I have a problem calling a black man coffee. Anyway.
Well, you were calling him coffee.
Okay, well, I got it mixed up.
Guys, I hate it when you fight.
No, you don't.
It makes it feel like it's my fault.
Well, it's always your fault.
Wow.
Yeah.
Terrible parents.
Yeah, you know.
I'm going to my room.
Back to the match.
Yeah, back to
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying, people. I'm trying. Mysterio and Del Rio, fun match. I enjoyed it. I love Mysterio now. He used to, just for the longest time, just get thrown through the bottom rope and just splat on the outside, which always looked great. Now he's using it as a move, and he slided himself and hit a splash. He did it on Del Rio today, which looked great. Mysterio ducks a super kick by Del Rio, which didn't really look very close to his head, but he ducked nonetheless, and then rolled up Del Rio. And 2 matches in a row, we have schoolboy victories, and Mysterio gets to win over Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio cannot defeat anybody that wears a mask.
Is that because he's wrestling other Hispanics?
He's just wrestling Mysterio and Sin Cara over and over and over.
That's it.
And yet they're trying to set him up for a feud with Batista.
Yeah.
But he's losing every match. Yeah, I know he won on Raw. I know people are going to say, but he beat Sin Cara on Raw. I know. But overall, he's been losing.
They took the flag away.
They took the flag.
They took the Mexican flag. That was his thing.
He still has the little flags in the corners.
Yeah, but those don't count. He needs the big Mexican flag. He needs to come out. He needs to wave it. It gives him powers or something, and that's how he wins. That was the last time I really enjoyed it.
He needs Ricardo back, too. Maybe.
Where is Ricardo?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they deport him? Did Zeb finally, was he successful?
I know, oddly enough, on house shows of a few weeks ago, because Heath Slater took some time off. He's back now. But when Heath Slater took some time off, McIntyre and Jinder Mahal on house shows had Ricardo as like the the substitution for 3MB.
Oh my goodness.
Like, in some house shows in Canada, Ricardo was with 3MB.
That must have been interesting.
Needless to say, they did not win their matches.
Yeah, I didn't think they would. Ricardo's hilarious, though. That would be great.
Yeah. Divas action, Naomi versus Tamina Snuka. Before this match kicks off, we saw on Raw, and now we see a quick glimpse of it as well. In the crowd, we have NXT superstar diva Emma.
Yeah.
Emma Tang.
She's the next one coming up, apparently, and I am perfectly happy with that. She's very talented. She's very entertaining. She's kind of like a female Santino, as far as like her character in NXT. But she can certainly go, and she's a good wrestler, and I'm excited that she's getting this opportunity. I'm excited they're kind of hyping her debut.
A lot of people have been happy about it. When she showed up on Raw, everybody, my Twitter feed was going crazy with nothing but people talking about Emma.
Yeah.
So,
are you surprised that she got called up before Paige, who's the current NXT champion, women's champion?
I am a little bit, but she has a certain like following capacity to her that I understand why.
She's very likable.
Does that? Yeah.
yeah. I don't have as much of a problem with it because I know Paige is coming at some point.
We know she's going to be up there.
Yeah, there's no way she's not.
Right.
My only problem would be if Eva Marie gets booked over her.
Let's not talk about Eva Marie right now. Too much airtime for her.
I just don't want it to happen.
Wow, Kaori with a haterade.
Yeah,
I wasn't even bashing. I wasn't even bashing Eva Marie too much earlier. I was just saying she needed to train.
I think she did it all for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But
yeah.
needless to say, Naomi taking on Tamina. We thought Naomi broke her neck in this match,
I thought
broke her booty.
or collarbone, something.
Clavicle.
There was a disgusting fall, and then it seemed like without any hesitation, Tamina then went to a rear chin lock.
Yeah.
Which, if she broke her collarbone, probably not the best idea.
Have been bad.
I'm not a doctor, but I would guess that's not the right move to do.
You did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
I did. It was splendid. Holiday Inn Express, even.
Yeah, but yeah, that move when it happened, all of us,
We were rounded about 4 times because we're like, what happened here?
We did.
Looked as if maybe they didn't have their communication down on what the move was going to be. Looks like Tamina was almost expecting, I don't know what she was expecting. Clearly, Naomi thought it was going to be a flapjack type of spot where she came straight down. Tamina did not, and it almost broke neck, collarbone, face, all of that.
I mean, if Naomi wasn't flexible, it could have really hurt her.
Yeah.
And thankfully, because remember, SmackDown was filmed Tuesday, thankfully she didn't suffer any serious injury because just a day or two ago, Naomi and Jimmy Uso got married, so congratulations to them.
Is it John?
Well, it's his real name. I'm just like I said Naomi, not Trinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Girl, bye. That happened.
You do it better than Cameron.
Do that again?
See, now he can't do it. See, when you do that,
So congratulations to Naomi and Jimmy Uso. In the course of this match, AJ gets involved. Cameron gets involved. They're fighting on the outside. Distracts Tamina. And Naomi eventually hits a split-legged moonsault onto Tamina. Gets the win. Tamina is the bodyguard with the worst win-loss record in history of the WWE.
Yes, she.
While AJ breaks the record for longest Divas champion of all time. Congratulations to her as well.
Congratulations.
So,
or something's working. She's safe.
We're setting up Naomi versus AJ. Clearly, Naomi's next in line. Naomi's the next total diva to get her one-on-one title match at a pay-per-view against AJ. It appears.
Which is good.
Well, she's great. I mean, we were saying AJ versus Natalya and AJ versus Naomi right now would be the 2 most entertaining one-on-one matches.
I could have swore we said that like last summer.
Oh, yeah. We didn't want that for a while.
Yeah, but we've been saying that for a while, but now we're getting it.
Yeah.
We had the Fatal 4-Way in summer.
That's true.
Which was also entertaining. But, yeah, so that appears to be what's happening right now. And I still don't know how many people have the Somebody Call My Mama music. Tonight was only
sharing is caring. We have it now.
We have it here at AfterBuzz.
Right up here.
Yeah.
You make fun of my dance. What about this one?
Brodus. I danced better than Brodus. Come on. I didn't get in my full on
You guys
move
be
there.
the judge.
You didn't
and
really get it going?
let us
No,
know.
I didn't get it. I mean, the music stopped.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to go.
Yeah.
We're on a time limit, so we got to get.
Phil, you rock for that.
Phil is in the back.
Phil was ready.
No, he can't dance.
DJ Phil in the house,
And he cut you
Sounds like-
and he cut me quickly, as he should. But yeah, so Naomi versus AJ. Right now, though, we do have to get serious for a moment. We got to talk about. We kind of talked about her last week, but now a few days ago, unfortunately, happened that Mae Young has passed away at age 90 years young.
90 years young.
Mae Young debuted, had her first wrestling match in 1939. Think about that.
Yeah. I mean, she
technically, if you think about it, she actually had a match in 9 decades. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and her last WWE technically match was in 2010 against LayCool. And she was never the WWE Women's Champion, which blows my mind. She held a NWA United States Women's Championship, and she was a tag team champion once in the NWA, but never really had the title, but didn't need it.
It didn't blow my mind at all. Because sometimes it's like the Dan Marino thing. Sometimes you can have a great career and never carry the title. It just happens like that. It just so happens that at the same time, the top female wrestler was one of her great friends, and that was the Fabulous Moolah, who carried the title for
15 years consecutively.
Half a century.
Yeah,
something like
I think she actually had a reign that was probably 50 years. Seriously, it was dozens of years. Someone in the chat roll tell us the exact number. I don't have it in front of me.
I'm sorry. This is a serious talk, but I can't look at the chat roll because they're talking about your dance.
they're still on your
Our chat roll's normally on a minute delay.
Yeah, I know. They haven't gotten to the somber moment yet.
Yeah, they haven't gotten to the serious moment yet.
So yeah.
And they loved my dance. And Mae Young danced and made out with everyone on the
Yes,
roster.
she did, including Khali.
Khali, The Rock.
Oh, I forgot about Khali.
She had a hand with Mark Henry.
Yeah, she did have
which grew up
into a giant hand.
Yes. So Mae Young, we love you. We miss you.
Just for two of the greatest moments of the Attitude Era, one of the worst with a hand, but one of the best with Bubba Ray
powerbombing her.
Powerbomb off the top rope through the table. If you're too young to remember it, look it up on YouTube.
And that just shows how she's the toughest women's wrestler ever. She was.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, she was in her late 70s at that time.
Yes.
And she took a powerbomb off the stage through 2 tables.
And it also shows how passionate she was about the sport too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Never wanted to leave it, which is great.
So yeah, Mae Young, we love you. And I know it's tough to segue from things like that.
Yeah, I was like, you're not ready to transition.
Yeah, and now we got the Wyatts.
Yeah.
They're somber too.
Kind of somber.
There you go.
Kinda
That helps. Thank you, Phil.
This helps. Now we can get into Wyatt mode.
Now he's gonna sound like a sexual predator.
There's so many memes that could be made of me today. Bray, Harper, and Rowan come to the ring, just cut a dastardly promo about Daniel Bryan, and just the moment on Raw with the crowd in the slow motion, And this was in Providence. This wasn't like Daniel Bryan's hometown.
Yeah, no.
This was all the way on the other side of the country. And that was one of the best crowd reactions in recent memory with Daniel Bryan in that crowd, so well done, Providence. You're a neighbor of my home state, so you're all right in my book. Yeah. And they proved it there. Rhode Island is right by Massachusetts.
I'm not arguing that.
I thought I had to give you a little geography lesson. You were about to question me.
No, I was saying that you're giving props to a state right now.
I'm giving props to the crowd in Providence. Yes. Well done.
Are they better than the crowd post WrestleMania?
Well, that was throughout the entire show. This was a moment.
Just for that moment.
Yes. So, Yeah. Bray talks about how Daniel was never meant for him, and he knew that this Monday was the moment where he had to sacrifice himself to be resurrected into the creature he was born to be. And he goes, "Did you really think that you could hurt me? I am already dead." That's not creepy, is it? And is it in poor taste that he says that right after, like, right around the Mae Young segment?
Well, you don't correlate it.
Yeah,
no, but
it's...
I mean, that's kind of what I was a little worried about.
Why?
I don't know. It's just when someone passes away and then the next person talks about death.
She was 90.
I understand.
I'm just putting out the obvious.
I don't know.
He's a little more...
I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive soul. The ladies love me. That's right. The ladies love me for my sensitivity and my stunning good looks. Right? That's what my mom says. So yeah, awesome promo by Wyatt.
I heard you laugh.
You know,
What?
many places.
What now?
So many places.
What is wrong with you two today? Great Wyatt promo. Maybe we're setting up a Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan match at the Rumble, on which I can
Maybe.
maybe. I mean, it hasn't been announced, and it's 9 days away. It should happen.
It's happening.
And we were talking about, obviously we'll do our predictions next week, but we were talking about how big this is to make sure that Bray Wyatt wins that match.
Yep. Because we were, as we said last week when we were talking about this whole thing, on Raw, when that happened, it felt a bit rushed. And all of a sudden, it's like, let's pull him out of there and give him his, back his spot on his own.
Yeah.
And let the Wyatts stand on their own. But now they have the compound problem of making sure Daniel Bryan looks very good and very strong, and also making sure the Wyatts don't look bad.
I thought you were about to say something.
I was, because I remember last week we were talking about it, and you weren't too happy with the union. So how do you feel about it being rushed and now it's already?
I don't really have a problem with it being rushed, because obviously, as the fans of Providence, Rhode Island, Allen showed everybody wanted that. That's what we were all looking for. But
and this is what we were expecting to happen in some capacity. And the fact that we had it with him like trapped in the cage made it even better. The fact that it happened so suddenly threw me off.
Right.
But again, this is what we were thinking was going to happen. So this, though, gives us a little glimmer of hope, thinking since they ended this so quickly, now Daniel Bryan could win the Rumble. And he could still main event WrestleMania. Now he's still able to do that. Because if he was stuck with this thing, I was saying last week, he'd still have a high featured match, but he wouldn't be in the title match. Now he still can be.
I hope he is.
So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
It would be amazeballs.
Amazeballs. She said amazeballs. And you were making fun of me earlier.
This can't be life.
This is life right now.
Life.
You're dealing with an Asian girl saying amazeballs and a guy trying to dance to funk music. A white guy dancing to funk music.
And you did say girl bye.
And I did say girl bye with a little snap.
Please somebody catch that girl bye and make a meme of it.
There's like a million. I'm going to be ripped to shreds this week. I just know it. I just know it.
I just have to see you with your wrist bent. Yeah.
I gave him another shot. I gave him another shot.
He did it again.
Slow motion.
No. Renee's backstage again with CM Punk, though. Why is she backstage with him twice?
Keep showing up. I don't know why.
So she's like, so we talked earlier about the Shield, and now I heard some rumor that you want to call it the New Age Outlaws. So who is it? Are you going to call it the Outlaws or the Shield? And he's like, I'm calling them all out.
Yeah, both.
And then he left. It's pretty much all.
Why does he keep going back?
Why couldn't he just talk to me again, Renee? Why am I here again?
He could have just tweeted the app.
Yeah. I'm calling them all out.
Yep. And then we get the Bellas in one of those like little segment things that we talked about earlier. Bringing up next is Big E versus Fandango, and they're having some trouble saying the name correctly, and then they were laughing about it.
Yeah, Nikki said "dongo" in her face with. Yeah, it was awkward. Never want to be that close to somebody, ever, in conversation.
It is your twin. If it was your twin.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just saying, anyone else would be weird, creepy. It's okay, it's her twin. If I had a twin, it'd be cool.
You're
starting
talking
to.
incredibly fast right
I was just gonna say, it's very short and fast. So Kaori was just like, I don't like it. They were too close. But I understand. What are we doing now?
Like she's got coffee in that cup, or and that's
Is that a cup? Is that a cup of coffee?
You know what? Actually, somebody said that in the chat roll.
A cup of coffee?
Yeah. After that,
That's been used over and over for years now.
It was a lot of coffee going on in there.
All right. Well, Big E versus Fandango, great match. I wasn't as into this match as I was a few weeks ago when they had their Intercontinental title match. But I thought this was a very fun match. Fandango working on the shoulder of Big E throughout most of the match. Fandango. And then Big E eventually hits the big ending, gets the win, and it kind of bears the question. Oh, well, there's not really much of a question. Fandango and Big E are both in the Rumble match.
Yes.
They've announced that. So there's no Intercontinental title match at least announced yet for the pay-per-view. Which on the Royal Rumble, that's like the one pay-per-view where I'm okay that there's no Intercontinental title match, because then the Intercontinental champion can be in the Rumble for a chance at the WWE title. That's the only pay-per-view I'm okay with that belt not being defended.
Warrior did it.
Well, I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying
Warrior did it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we got WrestleMania 6.
Is this your way of segueing? Because up next was the Ultimate Warrior being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I don't know. It may have been.
You're so conniving.
Why are you guys whispering?
Why'd you talk like that?
Why not?
I don't know. But somebody in the chat room just said you're doing your best Crazy Bone.
Oh, I can talk real fast.
Oh, Crazy Bone. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
back in the day.
Bone Thugs. I'm going to miss everybody.
What is going on?
That's like always the go-to song for anybody. It's always Crossroads.
I'm just laughing at him saying
You know what I love so much about this is the fact that we are actually doing a show to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and we are talking like we are just hanging out on the couch,
because
just chatting.
That's how it goes.
And that's how it goes, and that's why we love doing this, and that's why the fans love listening to us. Yeah, Rosebuds. Yeah, I'm gonna miss everybody.
That's always the white boy go-to song, Crossroads. Do you know Thuggish
white
Ruggish
boy?
Bone?
I know Thuggish Ruggish Bone, first of the month.
Thank you. Okay, that's the second album.
Yeah, I had their
Technically, Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
I had their first 3 albums.
What is the name of their very first album?
Oh God, now I got to remember because it was so long ago.
All right, we'll come back to that.
Moving on.
Ultimate Warrior, the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Dun, 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 dun,
Well overdue,
dun.
as we know. For a guy that, let's be honest, if we look at his technical abilities, not the greatest, but his energy, his look, his charisma, and the way the fans drew to him is something that, I mean, if you were going to look at wrestlers today compared to that, you can say it's kind of like the Daniel Bryan of back then.
Yeah.
Because the crowd was just obsessed with him.
It's the package, and not the package that.
You don't think?
I can't go there yet.
Really?
Because you said the Daniel Bryan, and Daniel's been hot 2-3 years right now.
Right, but I'm talking about the way the fans have embraced him and just been upset,
Yeah.
like the second the music hits and how nuts they go.
But they kind of do that for more than at that time. There were 2-3 guys that they did that for.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like 5, 6, 7 guys that they do it for. All of the main eventers, pretty much.
Right now, I would say only Daniel Bryan and Punk.
Daniel Bryan, Punk, Cena still gets it, whether you want to admit it or not.
But Cena's is still heavily mixed. He's still loud, but it's a mix of cheers and boos.
Doesn't matter.
I'm talking about loud with the cheers. Ultimate Warrior,
You're talking about just cheers?
I'm talking about the fans just going nuts for joy.
Hogan was the hugest.
And
I've been in arenas for Ultimate Warrior, Rock, Hogan, Cena, and Daniel Bryan, and I haven't heard anybody get to Stone Cold Steve Austin's level or Hulk Hogan ever.
I wasn't saying Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
No. I was saying at that time, if we compare a guy today to the reaction of that, I would. That's the one I would pick.
I still can't go there because Warrior was. It seemed like it was more sustained. It from beginning to end, everything about him. The Daniel Bryan had to work his way to where he is right now. Ultimate Warrior literally came in like that House of Fire, wrecking shop, with tassels all over himself, dressed like a girl's bicycle. People didn't care. Face paint was
don't
cool.
think-
Destroying the ropes.
Yeah.
I don't think Christian's talking about like the uphill battle.
Yeah,
They're just talking about the.
He's talking about just the pop, but the pop
the
for the
instant
Warrior
pop,
yeah.
was huge, and it's still bigger than Daniel Bryan's was to me right now. Daniel Bryan is a chant. He's hot, and he's a chant.
Right.
He's not Warrior when it comes to the pop when he came out. When that music
That era
hit,
was so different too.
yeah, that's another thing. It was the cartoon era. Everything was a lot bigger back then.
Yeah, it was so
when it-
exaggerated and like
yeah.
those characters.
When that music hit, you wanted to go, oh, he's about to run out, and I better look because he'll be in the ring in 2 seconds. It was that type of thing. Daniel Bryan, not taking anything away from his pop, you can participate in his pop. It's a chant. You want to chant. You want to chant along. You want to be a part of that. You want to say yes. You want to say no. With Warrior, it was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan doesn't seem like an experience. It seems like a participation thing.
Interesting.
That's just my
Interesting
opinion.
observation.
Yeah.
No, I understand it. Personally, I'm not 100% on board with you on it, but I understand it.
Didn't ask you to be.
I know.
And
I
then-
can be
I'm
a
just
man
saying.
on the boat.
And then
And then
yes,
what?
and then next.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something else involved in it.
No.
No, you just like next
Yes.
segment.
Yes.
She just wants to get off the topic of the Ultimate Warrior, apparently.
No, we can talk about him. He's
The
doing
power of the Warriors.
You know. Well, I'm sure we'll talk more about it as it gets closer.
Yes, we will.
You know.
But the big news
So-
this week was he was announced this week.
Who is next?
We need Jake Roberts. We need. I've been saying for years we need Demolition. I want Demolition in the damn Hall of Fame already.
This would be a perfect year for them.
Yes. Make them the tag team this year.
Yeah.
Nobody ever held the tag titles longer in a single reign or as far as a collective reign than Demolition.
I had to become a grown man before I realized that they were an S&M act.
True. We'll just ask him to wear. We'll ask him to dress up for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I think they will.
Yeah.
But they got to bring the mask.
Oh yes.
They have to bring those masks.
Axe and smash.
Yeah.
Mae Young backstage again. This time though with the Shield. And kind of bringing up CM Punk and also bringing up the Royal Rumble. And all of a sudden, we got like the little tease of dissension again with them talking about, well, I'm not going to stop throwing you over the top rope. I'm not going to stop throwing you. I can throw you over the top rope. And Reigns kind of calms them down. It's like, regardless of whoever wins, one of us is going to win, and we will stay united as the Shield, and we will headline WrestleMania.
He did. This is why he's my favorite, because of what he did tonight.
Because he calmed the boys down.
He calmed the boys down and was the voice of reason, and he is the bronze as well. So
Yeah, and he doesn't sound like he's been smoking cigarettes for 50 years.
yes. And the thing about him is when he speaks, it's because it's so infrequent. When he does speak, it's almost like quiet. Like, oh wait, he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like him, not just because he's good looking. It's like him.
Go on.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Now that I'm slightly uncomfortable.
Well, then we'll go to the random Oksana segment, saying up next is Usos versus Real Americans.
Now I'm uncomfortable. No.
Zeb comes out in a wheelchair and a neck brace, selling the knockout punch that he took on Raw from Big Show, which apparently like broke his neck and now he can't walk. and he, he's trying to talk and he's like holding the neck brace up to make him look like a triple chin, with it like to make him look like in more pain.
He held it tight.
Oh, it's so funny. And then the Usos come out, and I applaud this because we don't see it enough. The Usos were in a cage match on Raw. What do they do on SmackDown? They're both taped up, selling the effects of the fact that they were in a cage match because it's devastating and painful. Jimmy had his ribs taped. Jay had his shoulder taped. Good job keeping the story. Hey, they were involved in this. We got to keep selling it. I want them neck on Raw to still have it as well.
Yeah.
Go.
You're like,
And then
That's what, like, usually when I finish a statement, that's when you can either agree or rebuttal.
My favorite part of the match was not the Cesaro swing. It was when Cesaro went behind Zeb Coulter.
That was funny.
And then Zeb Coulter tripped one of the Usos, and then the Uso pushed Zeb Coulter into Cesaro. That was awesome.
Yeah, Jimmy wheeled Zeb into Cesaro, and that should have looked pretty painful. And meanwhile, in the ring, Jay and Swagger were battling. This led to an electric chair drop by Jay, making a tag to Jimmy and hit the top row splash. Usos get the win. Very fun match here.
It was a good match.
Now we got... Oh, go ahead.
Still got the Warriors music in my head. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, now he's a DJ too. My goodness.
I'm a jack of all trades. Come on. Master of none.
That's me too.
CM Punk comes out saying he's not out here to be a masochist. And unlike the Authority, I'm not a coward. I am calling out the Shield and the New Age Outlaws. And I'm here to call it. It doesn't matter what the Authority says, because whatever they do, they can never shut me up. And, you know, I tell the truth and people listen to me because that's real power. Gets interrupted by the Shield.
Echo, Lima, Charlie, Shield.
Then gets interrupted by the New Age Outlaws.
Oh, you didn't know? I can't even do that.
I like that little background you two are doing. That's cute. Okay, go on.
The little play here.
Yeah,
All right.
works.
It does.
Yeah.
They're surrounding CM Punk, but of course CM Punk is not empty-handed. He has a microphone.
And he's holding it like
he's ready
a
to
knife,
strike.
like a stabby position.
You know, you're facing 5 men, all of which are larger than you, except for maybe Ambrose.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe Rollins.
I would have said Rollins.
Is Rollins bigger than Ambrose?
He looks to be.
He might be a little tall.
Maybe a little
He's
taller.
a little taller.
But
He's not
like-
big. They're both about the same size. But we know Road Dogg's bigger. We definitely know Billy Gunn is bigger.
And we definitely know Roman's
and
bigger.
we know, and he's gonna stab them with a microphone, apparently. Yeah.
I just had a
Get your
thought.
head out of the gutter.
I
Get
know.
your head
Okay.
completely. It's
PG-13
horrible.
show.
Oh, Kaori. What are we gonna do with you? So they're all getting ready to head in the ring and just beat the crap out of Punk. But Kane's music hits. And Kane is like rushing down in the ring, telling everyone to stand down, stand down.
Stand down.
And he's like, there's clearly been a misunderstanding. Your anger is misplaced. The Authority's not against you. If they were against you, why would we be giving you an opportunity to main event WrestleMania? Because you're in the Rumble. The Authority has said from now on, my top directive is to make sure that you're treated with the respect that you deserve. So as Kane leaves, the other guys are getting ready to start kind of walk with him. But Punk says that Kane's word means nothing to him since it's coming from a 7-foot suck-up. Kane then kind of turns. It's like, get him, guys. And they all try to start going in the ring. Punk starts fighting them off. But just as he
stabbing with the microphone.
starts stabbing with the microphone.
Yeah.
But just as he turns, Kane is back in the ring, grabs Punk by the throat, gives him a chokeslam. I feel like this is the first chokeslam that we've seen from Kane since this transition. Will we have an additional Punk versus Kane match at the Rumble? Or will they hold off on that?
Right now, I would want them to hold off, but with the Rumble coming up so soon.
See, like I would want them to hold off from it, and Kane screws Punk in the Rumble, and that can lead to a one-on-one match at the Chamber.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. So, but I like this. All of a sudden, Kane, like I said, now we're getting some physical action from Kane that we haven't had in months.
He's back.
And I'm fine with Kane versus Punk. I think that's a great start to set up for the heavily rumored CM Punk Triple H WrestleMania match.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm all for it.
Last year he fought
Taker.
Last year was Taker.
Yeah.
And this year he fights the corporate beast himself.
That's right. So match of the night. What do we got?
I would say moment of the night
Our moment.
is what we just talked about.
Kane.
Yeah.
Not Pyro though, but yeah, still Kane.
I concur. I wanted the fire. I wanted the suit and the fire, but
In terms of but in terms of funny moment of the night, I would say when Zeb was pushed into Cesaro.
Yeah, as far as moment of the night, I agree with you as far as Kane. If I were to pick a match of the night, I'm going to go with Big E and Fandango. I thought that one was probably the best overall match.
Okay, match of the night, I would say the Real Americans.
The Real Americans.
Because it was just entertaining all around.
It was.
none of the matches really just jumped.
None of them stuck out.
Yeah.
They were good. There was no match that was like bad in any way.
Yeah.
But they were all good.
I'll go with the Usos.
Okay. And then you started tweeting out what we decided to kind of turn into our homework assignment for this week.
Yes.
So go ahead and bring it up.
This week,
What are we telling people to answer this week on YouTube?
we want people to answer who is the best looking diva and who is the best looking wrestler in the WWE currently today, because there's
I would say male and female superstar,
Yeah,
because
male and female.
because when you say wrestler, well, divas are wrestlers.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to get upset on what you said.
Differentiate.
Your best looking diva, best looking male superstar.
Pick the best looking man that you think and the best looking woman that work for the company right now.
But give us a reason why too, though, because we want to say our
please.
favorite reason. Keep it appropriate.
Yes, please.
PG-13 show. So try to keep it PG-13-esque.
Because we had a nice debate going, and obviously I put it up a little late, so it wasn't like the Twitter, rolls got really going into it. But when they see this on YouTube, I got a feeling that they're gonna be rolling with the answers.
And we want them to tweet Ryback. Tweet Ryback as well. Hashtag feed me rosebuds.
Feed me rosebuds. Ooh.
Feed Ryback rosebuds.
Yeah, because he can't eat my soldiers.
Well, I have a lot more rosebuds I can sacrifice than your army.
It's so much easier to grow flowers.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for AfterBuzz SmackDown this week. But in the meantime, while you're commenting on YouTube, while you're tweeting that Ryback, Rome, how can people reach out to you?
Rome the ruler, join the Roman army. I'm always there. I have a lot of good soldiers.
And you can find me at KAORIOUS. And I told you, I was waiting for you to notice my shirt.
Your shirt?
He never did.
He never did.
Your iPad is blocking it. What does it say? I love the Chippendale. Your iPad blocked it. I never saw the design the entire time.
I'm waiting.
I love the Chippendale.
I'm wondering why I was shaking my head before I walked out of the studio.
The PG-13 moment. All right. And you can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC if you're in the Indio, California area. This Sunday night, Alpha Omega Wrestling will be doing a show. I will be there calling the action as only I do also well. And Matt Hardy is going to be there as well. I might get the opportunity to talk to one Mr. Matt Hardy at that show.
Deck him up, huh?
Yeah, I just might. So we shall see how that goes. If you're in the area or want more information, tweet at me. I will give it to you. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. For Rome Moore and Corey Takee, I'm Christian Rosenberg. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Cesaro.
What was that?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.